Jesselyn, do you affirm under the penalties of perjury that you will support the Constitution of the United States and Constitution of the State of Alabama so long as you faithfully continue to be a citizen thereof? That you will faithfully and honestly discharge the duties of the officer of the Cullman District Court by serving as a court-appointed special advocate? That all information you receive in the performance of your duties will be held in strict confidence and be divulged only when consistent with the laws of Alabama and only in furtherance of the best interest of the child?
I do.
Congratulations.
Interesting.
What a CASA worker does, they undergo 40 hours, is it still 40?
30.
30 hours of training, specialized training, so you'll understand the system and how it relates to kids that's been abused and neglected. DHR is involved in all these cases, and you, as volunteers, will be assigned a child that's involved in the system. Now, we have judges in the system, and we have many fine attorneys in the system. The guardian ad litem or the attorneys, they go through similar training to be certified as a guardian ad litem so they can be a child advocate as well. But while they may handle 50 cases involving multiple children, and while judges we actually handle thousands of cases involving all kinds of victims, children's parents, you will be assigned a child to look out for. And it's your job to make sure that the system does justice to this child. Not to say that any of us are trying to not do what we need to do, but you're going to be looking out for this child's interest to make sure that we're doing what we need to do, and that's why your recommendations are so important to us. DHR is involved in their cases. We have fine social workers in these cases. DHR does their best that they can do. They're overwhelmed with thousands of reports of abuse and neglect. Your job is going to be working with the other professionals in the court to work to make sure that they have a good outcome for each child. Judge Turner can't be here today. He's across the hallway. He's in the middle of a termination of parental rights case. So that child can have permanency, can have a loving family. And there's a CASA volunteer over there right now who's trying to make sure that the system does what it's supposed to do. So at one time, 10 years ago, we didn't have any volunteers here. And Javon and I had talked about it. While everybody has their own professional jobs to do, we wanted someone else who is trained to come in to look out for these kids. And I congratulate each one of you for taking on this responsibility. It is an awesome responsibility.
The Lord led me to deliver food with Meals on Wheels. That led me to Cullman Caring for Kids at the food bank. And then I met the staff and all, and that led me to C.A.S.A.
The system is not perfect by any stretch. It takes too long. There are omissions in the system. You're not going to get everything that you want, and you're going to get aggravated at me. You're going to get aggravated at Judge Turner. You're really going to get aggravated at some of the parents that you're having to deal with. Our children are innocent. They deserve a loving, permanent home. And if we can do that with the parents that they have, then the law requires us to do that. Our job is to work with the parents that they have to see if we can make sure that's a loving, safe home. If we can help those parents do that, whether they have an alcohol issue, drug issue, domestic violence issue, then the law says that we're required to do that. And that requires us to work with these parents, and they deserve to be worked with.
To know that you're never going to be told thank you enough. Not to minimize the paid people of the county, the lawyers, the DHR, they're all here for the children, we get that, but you're volunteering, you're taking your time out of your day where you could be doing other things, spending time with your children, shopping, working, whatever it is you want to do to come and help this child that doesn't even realize how much you're going to help them. These children will never understand how much you did for them, what you said for them, what you did in court. They'll never know how much you did for them.
Thank the Lord for leading me the path that I need to go, and I just pray that He'll give me the wisdom and the strength that it needs to help these children. so many times children are forgotten. And if I can bring voice to one child, it will have been worth it. And I thank you all for being here and putting us.
I think in Matthew it says, for what you do the least of these you do for me. And there's a lot of children who don't have someone looking out for their interest. Foster home, foster parents are great. DHR workers are great. I have lawyers that are great. Judges, we try to do the very best we can to do justice to each case that we can. But on a docket, a DHR docket, we will have 60 cases set. You're gonna have one child. So what you say and how you say it and the information that you can provide the court is invaluable. Because first of all, you're not biased one way or the other. You're just gonna tell us the way it is. And you're looking at it with your training and says, we would recommend that you take this action. And everything that you say is gonna be evaluated by the attorneys, by the Department of Human Resources, and by the courts. And I just appreciate the fact that you've, first of all, undergone this huge amount of training, and that now that you are committing yourself to help the children in the system.
So I want you guys to know that now, and remember that forward whenever you get a bad case or whenever you get frustrated. That I'm going to tell you thank you enough for everybody, and Judge Chaney did a wonderful job of saying thank you also. And you'll always hear thank you, and you'll always hear how good the job you're doing from me, Nancy, and Javon. But just right now, I want you guys to remember that we thank you so much.
Yes, we do.
Because you're never going to get told that enough, and you're never going to get the recognition that sometimes when a case is hard, that you're going to think that you deserve. But you will have no idea how much you're going to impact, even if it's just a little bit. Even if it's just getting a little kid an extra phone call with its aunt or with his mom.
I never will forget it. I had a C.A.S.A volunteer make a difference in the child's life. I'm sitting there talking to the child, and a lot of new judges don't talk to the kids that come up here. We talk around them, we talk about them, we talk over them. I always like to talk to them because they're the reason that we're here. And it's easy to get caught up in the bureaucracy of what you're doing without actually talking to them. I like, so what's wrong? Are you doing okay? So, well, not really. And a C.A.S.A volunteer pointed out that this high school graduating senior had not had any graduation pictures or a class ring. Because the foster parents, everybody had forgotten about it. Now, do y'all know how important a high school graduation ring is to a senior?
Yes.
And could you imagine that child going through life the rest of his time without any high school graduation pictures? Well, let me just say we got that done. And that's a small thing. But you know how important it was to that child? It's extremely important. And that's the type of stuff, that's overlooked, that the system may not know about, that you're going to be able to help with. And again, I know you're concerned about your ability and you're anxious about it, but you're here because you're supposed to be here.